All right, so this here is a 2004 Canam Outlander 330. It's the 2x4 model, and there's lots of grinding and noises coming from the clutch here. So we got the tools. You got your secondary holder, your primary holder, the bolt to spread the secondary open, and then that's the bolt to pop the primary off of the shaft. So we're going to pop this belt box off, get to the clutches, and tear them apart and see what we can't come up with.
Alright, so as you can see here, as the engine's revved, the primary clutch is moving in and out as it should, but it actually is getting stuck towards the end, right about there as it clicks back out. You can hear it click. We'll see it here again. As you're revving it, it kind of sticks as it's going in, and then clicks and sticks as it comes back out.
Alright, so we're cleaning the clutches here. You can see this is about 4,000 miles worth of belt dust inside these clutches. You can see all that black and gray in there. That's all belt dust. So we're going to use some brake clean and clean all that out. You can just see all that black belt dust just dripping out of there. Alright, we got the primary here, and these should move freely. That one and that one kind of do. This one here is not moving after cleaning it. So we're going to take these apart, figure out why this one here ain't moving like it should. Alright, so this is the outer part of the primary, and these rollers here should roll. They're not stuck, they all roll nice and good. So the outer part of the primary is all cleaned and ready to go back together. Alright, so this is the outer part of the secondary. There's a little ring there that you can pop out, and this plastic piece comes out so that you can clean down in there real well. This one here is all nice and clean and ready to go back onto the machine. Alright, so we got the outer and the inner part of the secondary together. I don't know if it matters, but I used a paint pen and I marked on the front and the back of there on the sheaves so that they go back in the same spot as they were when I took it off. I don't know if it matters. I also marked the primary on both sides so that I know which way it goes back. So let's get these back together. Alright, so we got all the clutches, primary and secondary, all cleaned and scrubbed down and everything. And so now we're working on the side of the case here. This is after it's been cleaned. You can see all the nasty black that's been sprayed out. I just used brake clean, couple of brushes, and some shop rags, and got it all cleaned up. Next, we're going to take these clutches that are all cleaned up and ready to go and pop them out of the machine. Alright, so the next step is to get this box and belt and gasket clean. This machine here is like 18 years old. You can see some of the gasket is actually dry rotted and cracked a little bit. So I'm going to replace this gasket here on the belt box. We're going to get this belt box all cleaned up just with some hot soap and Dawn dish soap. You can see down in there's plenty of belt dust all in the cracks and crevices in the belt box. So we're going to clean all that out. All the bolts here, we're going to clean all of them real good and scrub them down and soak them in some Dawn dish soap and hot water. Clean them up real good. We got our gaskets where the intake and the exit comes out. We're going to clean those up real good. You can see those are all dirty down in there. So we'll clean all that up real good so that we can get it back together. All right, we got the belt box, the belt, little rubber covers for the inlet and the outlet, and all the bolts cleaned up. So let's get this back together.
All right, so as you can see, this here, the primary clutch is still sticking after cleaning everything and putting it all back together. So I went ahead and got online. I ordered all the parts, the levers, the shoes, the sliders, and the rollers. And we're gonna go ahead and replace all those now. So hopefully replacing everything will fix it, because cleaning it sure didn't.
All right, so we got the primary clutch off here, and these are the old metal rollers. They roll kind of okay. They'll stick every once in a while. They're not rolling nice and smooth. And if you look at the other part of the primary, the arms here have a little bit of grooving in them, especially right there where you can see that line. So we have a new set of levers here. There's the Canam part number there, 420-248-424. This is a Canam 330, and you actually only use 3 of the 4 levers because the 400 uses 4 levers. So we've ordered new rollers and pins just in case, and it's a good thing we did, because if you look at this pin here, you can see that grooving is not from me taking the pin out from the spider gear. That's from the inside of this roller here, rolling on that pin and gouging it up. Luckily it came out pretty clean from the gear here, or from the spider housing here. It's not too bad. So we're gonna go ahead and use new pins and new rollers and put those in there, and hopefully it stops the 2 clutches from sticking, as you could see in the video. So we'll get it all back together and we'll see if that helps it out. Alright, so in order to get these pins and rollers out, I went up to the hardware store and got a 5/16 punch pin punch. That's what you'll use to hit it. They did not want to come out. So I used a MAP gas torch and just used a little bit of heat here and a little bit of heat on the other side, and just got it to where it was hot to the touch. You don't have to get it red hot, and then the pin came right out. So all you need is a little bit of heat and the pin will come out. I did not put in a vise. I didn't want to ruin this clutch, so I just used a hard surface and then just beat it out. Alright, so in the manual it does say that if you see the arrow here, you're going to want to push the pin against the arrow out and then with the arrow back into the housing. We've beat this one in almost all the way in. I'll get the pin punch and we'll push that in so that it's flush on both sides. You can already see that roller moves a lot easier than these other old metal rollers did. It is just the Can-Am replacement ones. I didn't get like an EPI or nothing fancy like that. This quad's got 4,000 miles on it. It's 18 years old. I'm just looking to get it back to rideable condition for the next 4,000 miles in 18 years. Alright, so we got all 3 new rollers in on the outer. We got the lever kit here. We're going to replace those. We got one out. As you can see, it's worn. These are the old shoe sliders here. So we got a new set to put on. So let's get these levers on and get the clutch back together. So the levers are pretty easy to take apart. It's a T25 on the bolt side there and a 5/16 nut on the nut side. So we'll go ahead and pop those off. Should come undone pretty easy, and then it just slides right out. There's no need to press or punch or push those out. They should come out nice and easy. Alright, so as I've said before, on the 330 there's only 3 levers, but there's 6 spots. And this one here, I've sanded that down quite a bit, thinking that I could just fix the issue before replacing everything. And so those are worn in pretty well there. where the old levers are. You can see, you know, that one's got a little gouge in it. So I'm actually going to switch the levers to the other 3 brand new spots. Since I'm putting on new sliders, new rollers, and new levers, it should be fine to put back together in the opposite twisted spot so that we still have 3. They're just next to where the other ones were. Alright, so we got the clutch all back together on the primary here. Bolt torqued down, belt back on, and it definitely fixed the problem. The clutch is no longer sticking as you let off the throttle and it idles down. Shifts smoothly from high into gear and goes forward and reverse, and so I think we fixed the problem. So if your clutch is sticking and making a noise, it may just be some wear items. The levers, the rollers, the pins in the clutch is what's making it stick. So thanks for watching, and I hope this helps.